So I went up to Milton Keynes Gallery to an evening of scratch events. Milton Keynes, middle of nowhere, nice roundabouts. It was very empty. Got there before Adam, who was running the event. That's all right. There was some guy from a band who took me over to the space. But it was a start of a good enough evening. With My Name Is Mud, the publishers. It started off, kind of easy enough. Put a low track on of Animal Collective, and Adam came down the stairs wrapped in a pink kind of duvet with an enclosed rubber frog's mask on his head, to the sound of this Animal Collective. And if you kind of listen to Animal Collective, you know the kind of stuff it is. It's lots of tingly things and kind of it's in your head music. It's out there, and it was an early one. It was an early Animal Collective. I didn't even have it in my collection. I do now though. So Adam came down, but there was I need to set the scene here. There's a projection, which is mainly most of the wall of people riding tortoises. I think it was kind of cold from the YouTube and stuff like that. And Will, the guy who's doing the visuals, is just showing these things on a loop. So it looks pretty cool. Adam comes down, and we've got this Animal Collective music going on, which is kind of a bit echoey and stuff like that. And with a mic that I'd set up to go through my desk, I put a delay on it and beat mashers and splicers, and a load of few other things, and I played around with the filters, taking them up and down. Well, I'm not sure if he was saying anything or just shouting or just making noises, but I kind of repeated them and put them on loops. And I tell the truth, I couldn't actually work out, because I didn't know the Animal Collective track that well, what was Animal Collective and what was me. But yeah, I could see the Animal Collective track lowering down, so I kept the stuff going until Adam walked off. But in between, kind of doing the shouting and stuff, he give two fresh pineapples, nice looking pineapples as well, to a couple of the audience members, as you do, of course, at a spoken word art event. Anyway, Adam scuttled off back up the stairs, and then came back down without his mask and his duvet, because he'd obviously warmed up a bit, and introduced the evening of what it was about, who was going to do stuff. And then read some of his poems. I think he read one called "Screaming Death Lake," "Ex Mango," "A Frog Shares a Cigarette with Kurt Cobain." You can see where we go with that. So he read those, but he carried on and read a load of stuff with these back screens going. After he finished, then we had some films. So we had a film by, I can't remember, it might have been Janie Smith, or it might have been, I don't know, it could have been somebody else. I'm just looking at Cassandra Troyan. Very, very loud indeed. I think the artist wanted it loud. Instructions, got to be loud. It bloody was loud, but I've heard louder, and it gets louder later on. And I can't remember much about the film, to tell the truth. I think then there was a film of somebody eating a donut. Just that was it. I think that might have been I can't remember. Janie Smith eating a donut, Krispy Kreme donut as well. Looked a nice donut. Just her looking at the camera, eating a donut. Finished. Then there was this kind of one with this croaky voice like that. Filming somebody sat on a settee with their back to you in a kind of domestic scene. Kind of looked like they were masturbating over a cuddly toy. Eventually you worked that out, but again, it wasn't a sexual thing. It was more an intimate voyeuristic thing, and maybe the idea was that somebody had been caught doing this, or you were, I don't know where we were going with that really, but interesting stuff. Then another film was up, this time by a guy from the middle of nowhere, on a farm somewhere, Pennsylvania, and his outlook on life. You know, came across quite well. You know, poor guy lived in the middle of nowhere, worked on a farm with his family, and went out in the woods and got drunk in the evening and filmed and spoke what he was saying. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know, it came across quite well. It's a bit scratchy, a bit, you know, a bit punk, which is good, which was nice about it. But it didn't start off too well, because it started off once, and then Will, who was doing the visuals, stopped it. And he started again, and he stopped it again, and nobody could work out, because obviously nobody had seen the bloody film before. But turns out that he was wondering why it wasn't stereo, because we were only getting one side of the sound, which was the music, without the spoken word, which was the main freaking point, to tell the truth. It made a bloody big difference, you know. It was much better, obviously, in the end, because we could hear what the guy was saying, and it all worked, and it all, you know, went very well. Then we had a scratch poet who, you know, jumped up. There's gaps in between all of this other stuff as well, and I'm playing music in between, you know, stuff like Stooges, stuff like guitar-y stuff, old stuff, new stuff, that kind of thing, and then yeah, so this guy comes up with these one-liners on his phone. Does it make it good that you put a swear word in and say a sentence? It's a bit like that neon writing artists do. They think it's so bloody poignant, and really it's not. It's just arsehole stuff. I don't know, this guy, was he good, was he bad? I don't know, reading from his phone. I've seen other people do it. Good thing is, though, and I thought it was funny, I hear this muffled ringing, this muffled phone ringing, while this poet's reading from his phone. I think, oh, it's not my phone. Turns out it was my phone. It was Rosita calling me. So I quite like the idea that my phone was ringing while he was reading scratch poetry off of his phone. So that kind of worked for me. I don't think he was impressed, but Steve Rogenbach, that's the guy from Pennsylvania. Then we had a band. They started off with feedback and finished with feedback, strangely enough. Guitar with, you know, kind of on the floor, bedroom stuff. One guitar was feeding stuff through a localised amp, and the other guy was feeding stuff through old radios. And then there was another guy feeding stuff through electronic gadgets, you know, pedals and shit like that. And then the singer, who was in a hoodie, being very angsty and all very serious, not probably that serious actually, with the backdrop of some corny, cheesy American video, slowed right down, and Will was kind of splicing it up, not splicing it up, but putting effects on it. It's good. The imagery looked good, but the singer was shouting or doing whatever through the mic that I'd rigged up for Adam earlier for his spoken word bit. So there's a lot of delay, a lot of effect on it, and I kind of left that really. I didn't mess around with it. But that went on for half an hour. It's quite good, and the visuals are quite good, but yeah, it went on for 20 minutes too much, I think, and it really hurt my bloody ears at the end. I had to put my hands over my ears, because bloody hurt them. But you know, you got to stop that sometimes, otherwise you mess your old ears up. Adam came down with his frog mask on again, took the mic from the singer in a nice way, you know, hands over the shoulder and stuff like that, and walked around with the frog's mask on for a while, then took it off, said thank you everybody, that's the evening, and we all said how good everybody was, and we all shook hands. I chatted to some old mates I hadn't seen for bloody ages, and people that I knew but didn't know, like, then I drove home. It was alright, stopped at a random place on the way back, got home late.